Oh man. Hey y'all, what's up everybody? Yeah, I've been happy. Yeah, what y'all been up to, man? We got us a little crazy video. Cops had no idea they was inside this man murder shit, but as you can assume, they probably figured it out kind of quick.
He was in a hurry, and because I guess it was raining, he wanted to get this undercover.
So you weren't here when Dylan came down here?
He's a friend of mine.
Sure. You don't get rid of friends.
This is Jim Brenner, a farmer living in the remote Utah desert. Police don't know it yet, but he's showing them the exact building where a missing teenager was murdered just days earlier. 19-year-old Dylan Rounds had left his family to go work on his farm, but after being spotted buying supplies at a local shop, he would vanish without a trace. Strangely, no one in the small, quiet town seemed surprised. Apparently, this was not uncommon.
I told that kid to stay the hell out of
Yeah, stay
Montel.
away from cities and towns like that.
It's a crazy place.
Some other guy pointed a gun in my freaking face.
As days stretched into weeks, detectives chased a mounting list of suspects. Thieves, violent criminals, drug dealers, yet from the very beginning, the truth was there, hidden in plain sight by someone nobody suspected.
Unless I was there, then I would suspect him the whole time.
It all began on a quiet evening when police received calls from a concerned family member reporting their son, Dylan Rounds, missing from his farm in Utah. They hadn't heard from him in over 2 days, and when they went to his property to check, there was no sign of him anywhere. A deputy was dispatched to Dylan's farm to meet with his family, but on his way there, he was stopped by a neighbor of Dylan claiming he might know what happened to him.
He's been hanging out over that bar in Montello, and I could give you some names of some scumbags over there, but he's been shooting his mouth off about how much money he's making. And there's one guy, Chase Ventura, he's over there, and he can do anything he wants. He's been robbing, stealing, and everything, and the Elko County Sheriff won't do anything about it. And if you talk to his mother, she knows more about it, but he run into Chase on the Tacoma Road the other day, and Chase kind of scared him a little bit.
What's your last name again, Jim?
Jim Brenner. Well, I'll let you get down there before they disturb the crime scene.
Okay, thank you.
As the conversation ended, Jim Brenner's strange remark about a crime scene left the deputy curious, since no crime was yet confirmed. It was an unsettling comment that would soon become a disturbing reality.
Oh, I smell something. There's something dead in there.
For now, though, the deputy took note of this information and continued towards Dylan's farm to speak with his family.
No guns in there.
No guns in there?
Like he said, he has a 40 that he puts in the door every side.
Unplug the battery.
Did you just pop the back window?
I broke it out.
At first glance, Dylan's red Ford truck appeared oddly abandoned, bearing signs of minor damage. But what concerned his father the most was that Dylan's guns had mysteriously vanished from the trailer, a detail that was strange on its own. Wanting to learn more about Dylan, the deputy turned to speak with his mother. She had her own troubling information to share about Dylan's recent run-in with a local criminal.
What does he farm for out here?
Himself.
What does he farm for? Grain or?
Yeah, grain.
Grain?
Yeah.
James stopped me when you guys went around me, was talking to me. He said that you knew something about a run-in he had with a guy named Chase?
Yeah, on Wednesday, but they told me that's normal, so...
I know a lot of the people that he named from Montello are not good people. I only know of them from what people say.
Dylan's mother confirmed her son had in fact encountered Chase Venstra recently, the same person Dylan's neighbor had earlier described as a local thief and criminal. Given what the deputy learned so far, it seemed like Dylan might have unknowingly placed himself in danger. At just 19, he purchased 640 acres of land with his grandfather for an estimated $200,000 to $300,000 and built a reputation for his ambitious dreams of running a huge farm. But according to his neighbor, Dylan's confidence may have made him a target, as he often frequented rough local bars and talked openly about his financial success. After rehashing some more details with Dylan's parents, the neighbor, Jim Brenner, and his close friend, Donald Hately, arrived to help. Both men knew Dylan well. Jim was living in a trailer near Dylan's farm and occasionally helped him with chores. And Donald was a longtime friend of the family and a supportive mentor to Dylan's farming ambitions. But unbeknownst to everyone at the time, both men knew something more about Dylan's disappearance, something they weren't ready to share yet.
I did get a few.
Okay.
Last location was 15.4 miles from the Beltline Tower, which puts him on this back road.
So would that hit him walking? Okay, that's I know my son, and that's the shortest route to his camp.
If he walked, that road ends right out.
I'm gonna tell y'all this now. If them older men had anything to do with this, I have a lot to say.
If he walked, he would have come to the corner, cut across this field.
But that's as close as cell phone, Pete. Not in town, it's out here.
I promise y'all I do.
Off of that road, the back road into the compound.
Then we go down to where it is?
Yeah.
What time was that? Does it tell you?
That was at 14:58.
So right after.
So just before 3 o'clock.
Right after you left. Yeah. So he must have pulled in right behind you, dropped off the grain truck, and I'm telling you, I bet you he took off walking.
How do you get to that road from So we don't have to go all the way back to Lucerne Pond and over.
No.
No, I guess, okay.
Following this lead, they quickly headed to the shed area to investigate. That's when they discovered the first troubling sign of foul play. Dylan's boots were found stained with blood, discarded about 100 yards south of the shed. The deputy immediately secured the boots to send them off for DNA testing and called another deputy to help search the shed and the surrounding property. However, they had no way of knowing that the biggest clue they were looking for was submerged 20 feet deep in a pond nearby.
There's just some boots out there they've only been out there for a day or two. You didn't see anybody else around here?
I left here about 1:30, went over to Don's, and I was there until about 9 o'clock at night. And when I come back, that truck was here. It's just one thing after another. But he's a friend of mine.
Sure. You don't get rid of friends. Those two boots out there, they're brand new. Like they've only been out there. They're the same color leather as your boots, and they're the same ones he wears. So we're just curious of why his boots would be out there. Same size he wears. They've only been out there probably for a day or two.
He might have threw them out there.
Yeah, maybe he did. Well, does he know that's a dump out there? He does?
He's got electronics and shit in there. Maybe, I don't know. Because like I say, he was here. He had to have been here. Brought the truck here.
Yeah. Huh, that would make sense.
Based on Jim Brenner's timeline, whatever happened to Dylan likely occurred between 1:30 p.m. and 9 o'clock p.m., the hours when Jim left the shed to visit his friend, Donald Hately. Police quickly verified Brenner's timeline with his friend Donald, who confirms that they had dinner together during that time. With Dylan's exact movements still unclear, deputies requested a helicopter to scout the area from above, looking for any trace of Dylan.
So who owns this right here? That's the guy that he's a partner with. This is where he dropped the grain truck off. Where's this grain truck? It's backed into that silver building there. So the big one. Yep. Do you want to go up higher, Mike, or you could, please? Do the nice high orbit. You can look at everything with a camera, and then we'll come back down and see if we see anything with her.
After a full sweep of the surrounding area, no sign of Dylan or any indication of where he might have gone was found. In the following days, the search efforts continued, and Daniel's family alongside local volunteers joined in. But despite their best efforts combing through the area, they too came up empty. Attention soon turned to the local criminal Chase Venstra. Both Dylan's mother and his neighbor Jim mentioned a recent encounter between the two, making Chase one of the last people to see Dylan alive. Additionally, Chase already had a history of violent run-ins with the law, including a 10-hour armed standoff with police in 2016, and was well known in the area for all the wrong reasons. Luckily for police, Chase had an active warrant related to domestic violence. It was their perfect chance to bring him in for questioning. But when officers arrived at the house to arrest him, Chase was nowhere to be found, potentially already on the run from police. Officers quickly began searching the town, asking if anyone had seen Chase recently. Locals directed them to the Montello Cowboy Bar, a place known to be frequented by Chase. Following this lead, officers headed to check the bar, where they would soon learn that Dylan and Chase's encounter may have been more dangerous than anyone realized. But before we get to that, it's worth noting that incidents like these are not only traumatic for those directly involved, but they can often have the same effects on you when you face difficult situations in your own life. I realized I simply wasn't equipped to manage what I was feeling on my own, and that there are professionals whose expertise is guiding people like me towards feeling better. My therapist gave me one simple assignment: write down how I felt every single hour. And a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/DrInsanity and get 10% off your first month of therapy. With that said, let's get back to the officers at Montello Cowboy Bar, where a conversation with the locals was about to reveal how Dylan's encounter with Chase may have turned violent.
We're trying to find a kid named Dylan Rouse.
Oh, I know. We got locals out here looking for him, too. Oh, they went out that way because he was out to loose end.
I was hearing Kurt say something about he had a conversation with that Chase kid.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking for. Where do we find him?
I'm kind of worried about it because if Dylan did walk back from where he left the grain truck and Chase got a hold of him vulnerable, you know what I mean? He's walking back, something bad could have happened because there was a bad injury with a kid just out here that got his face smashed in by the butt of a gun. And the whole camper shell was all bashed in and stuff.
Where do we find Chase? Is he from here? Does he live here?
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't.
He's from around here. This is where he hangs out.
He was staying out here, and he was
Where was he staying at?
a thief in town, and so everybody was after him, and they finally told him to get the hell out of town and stay there.
Of course, he came back because he was just seen out here.
The bar owner's recap only further implicated Chase Venstra, suggesting that a violent confrontation between Chase and Dylan was more likely than ever. But something else caught the officer's attention when one of the bar owners briefly mentioned another recent incident involving Chase. Sensing there might be more to this, the officer decided to pull her aside for a private conversation. At this point, police still considered Dylan's case a missing person, but what the bar owner detailed next would soon shift this case to one of potential homicide.
Why was Chase and him having an issue, do you know?
So Kurt told me, and I was overhearing part of the conversation, saying that Dylan was just driving down the road and Chase stopped him. And so, hey, got some water. He was like, hey, do you know Kurt? Da, da, da. And I guess they got an altercation about that because Chase was like, Kurt's an asshole, da, da, da. And Dylan was like, no, he's not. You know, he's a good guy. I work for, I do work for him, blah, blah, blah. There was an altercation. Then he went on his way. And I believe, if I'm not mistaking the conversation, that was the same day that he drove the grader, the grainer over to wherever and then whoever was there couldn't give him a ride back, so he possibly walked. That's all I know about the conversation.
How does the kid getting hit with a butt of a gun, does that figure into this at all?
I think it does. I think there is some, because now we're talking violence. Yeah. So this kid let his property go. He stopped making payments on his property because he's so scared. But he woke up to the butt end of a gun into his face. They smashed his camper.
How old was he?
I don't know, 30s. 30s. Has a family, has kids. He's out here, bought land out here, so I'm trying to homestead.
He's not out here.
No, imagine. Nope, he left to be this property go, he's gone.
With this troubling insight, it became clear that Chase Venstra was fully capable of extreme violence. If he attacked someone else recently, he easily could have done the same to Dylan. But what no one had realized yet was that police were looking in the wrong direction the whole time, while someone far more dangerous and guilty was hiding right under their noses. The next day, while the search for Chase continued, Dylan's family reached out to police. They were conducting their own investigation and wanted to share new information they'd uncovered. Information suggesting Chase may not have acted alone.
So this is the family?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me again what you have suspicion to believe right now.
So on 525 is when Dylan ran into Chase with the desert and called me right after. He had no shoes on. Dylan wouldn't let him take his phone or give him a ride, but he did allow him to call his dad on speakerphone in Ogden, Utah.
Okay. Dylan allowed Chase.
Dylan allowed Chase to, and then he gave him some coke, and then his dad called Dylan back, and Dylan sent the pin from his phone to where Chase was.
Okay.
So then we fast forward to 528, which was Saturday. Dylan was heard from in the morning. He talked to his grandma, and he was going to take the grain truck to the shed to put it in shelter because it was raining.
Okay.
So at this point, we assumed he was walking back across the desert to his camper because he didn't have a ride.
This is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that out of Lucin?
Lucin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So then 529, they continued to look for him. 530, we all got here to Dylan's last known location in Lucin, filed the police report, got search and rescue out. That's the night we found Dylan's boots about 400 yards from where his last known location was, tossed out behind a dirt pile, just out in the desert. So then today we kept searching, and that's when these guys got us the information, about 3 o'clock today? We know that this Robert guy took Chase out to the desert where Dylan is the day Dylan went missing.
The man Dylan's mother mentioned would turn out to be Robert Aviles. He had an active arrest warrant and reportedly gave Chase Venstra a ride to Dylan's place on the day he disappeared. The family also suspected that Chase could be at Robert's house, so finding him became a priority in locating their prime suspect and hopefully Dylan himself. Officers quickly moved to track down Robert Aviles, and their first stop was Robert's residence, where they came into contact with his mother.
He's singing in danger.
I don't know who that would be.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I have no idea.
He's supposed to be hanging out with a guy named Chase. And Robert.
Okay, I don't know. Chase might have an idea, but my son's been homesick, and he's been in bed all day, and he's been home all night. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
So who's all in your house?
Nobody.
Nobody's in there right now?
No. My son is in his trailer.
And where's that at?
In the backyard.
In the backyard?
Yeah.
Well,
What's happening?
we're just trying to find it.
And no one came home with him. So.
Nobody came home with him?
No.
Okay. Is Chase here?
No. I don't let Chase on my property after I found him inside my home when I wasn't home.
We were told that there's possibly
a kidnapping.
Missing kid.
Oh, being here. Yeah, no. You can feel free to look around.
Hostage situation? Like he's not being...
No.
See, that's why we're here, ma'am. I'm not about a car.
Look around if you want to. But there's no one here but my son, and he's sleeping.
After speaking with Robert's mother, officers conducted a thorough search of the property, but found no sign of Dylan or Chase. But they soon located Robert inside his trailer, and he was quickly arrested and transported to the police station for questioning. When detectives placed Robert in the interrogation room, they expected resistance and lies, but instead, Robert didn't hold back.
So you said that Chase had taken guns from somebody. Did he admit to you, like, where he got his guns?
No, this is what I thought he got arrested for the first time. What he was in jail for when I came back. I asked Chase that. I was like, hey, man, I heard you got arrested. He's like, nah, that's just all Montello gossip, blah, 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 right? So I'm kind of weary after giving him a ride. I tried to show one of my mom's friends, been out there in the community for a long time. He gave me his scenario. He thinks Chase did it too, okay? Now, I don't know the time frames because I'm not good with time like I told you guys. I did the best I could by contacting the store lady and asking her what day I gave Chase a ride. No, because I didn't even know what day I gave Chase a ride. I didn't even know what day the kid came up missing. I didn't even know there was a kid missing until the Nevada police came knocking on our door wanting to search our residence. You know what I mean? And that's the truth.
Although Robert admitted giving Chase Venstra a ride, he couldn't provide any clear information on Chase's current whereabouts and maintained his innocence throughout the rest of his interview. However, Robert made one thing clear. He believed Chase was involved and might have even killed Dylan. The following night, something strange happened at Dylan's trailer in the Lucin Desert. It seemed someone had quietly returned and tampered with items inside. An officer was quickly sent out to photograph and document the scene, accompanied by Dylan's father, who'd share more details about the troubling discovery.
Okay, the shotgun is in a house in Rigby. Okay. That is my grandfather's that I bought, and he has a room up there, and that was the 40. It's not in here. We looked in his camper, didn't find it. No key fob for the truck, so when I broke the window, the alarm went off, we undid the battery. No key fob. We looked in his camper and all the cupboards and stuff, looked in the bathroom, nothing. My mother came here, she has real bad arthritis, my sister was here, we were all out searching. She used the bathroom. Dylan hadn't flushed it, just in here, it's really nasty. So my sister went in and cleaned it, still no gun. Later, my son and JD came in and the gun was sitting on a sink. It's outside of the bathroom, but right by the bathroom door where the toilet and the shower is the sink, but it's not in the bathroom. The gun was sitting right there with the clip outside of it. Okay. Sitting there. So my son and JD didn't think much of it. They grabbed the gun, put it in my truck. I didn't think much of it. Oh, they found the gun. I don't know. Then we started realizing that it wasn't there when my sister cleaned the bathroom for my mom to use and all that. And it was there.
This discovery was an alarming indication that someone was actively trying to cover up their involvement in Dylan's disappearance. But his father had one more thing to share. Something about an old confrontation with someone police hadn't yet fully considered in their investigation.
What was Chase's ties to out here?
I don't know about Chase.
Okay.
Hardly any. But the whole town knows him, and that whole town are just, it's a crazy place. They're just all like, they're all nutty for one thing. The only people that I know of that really were in contact with Dylan is I hear the Chase guy, I didn't know it. But Don and Jim. Jim was the guy the place you guys were on. Okay. Jim came out here and helped. Jim came to Rigby, where I live. I live in Rigby and Idaho Falls area. Dylan bought like 800 pigs or something from the Midwest when the pandemic hit, whatever, the corona. They brought them to my farm last pissed, and Jim was there, and I unleashed on him, told him to get the hell out of here. He called Dylan and told him he's going to blow my head off. Dylan called me, he got all mad. So when I found out he was going to blow my head off, I had to go see, and he's walking down the lane of the farm with a big old pistol, and my dad calmed him down and calmed me down. Then he came back this winter to my shop to work on that seed truck. Fine, everything was fine, and I realized it's Dylan's friend. I'm not going to worry about this, you know what I mean? I got to bend ties with myself.
According to Dylan's father, there were no further escalations after his confrontation with Jim Brenner at the time. At this point, no one had any real reason to suspect Jim Brenner or Donald Hately. After all, they'd been actively helping the family, joining search and rescue efforts, and fully cooperating with police. However, the confrontation described by Dylan's father was serious enough for the officer to take note of it. After leaving the scene, he passed this information to detectives, prompting a deeper look into Jim Brenner's past, and what detectives uncovered wasn't entirely unexpected.
I've been telling y'all this whole time. I don't like Jim and Don. I don't like the way they are. I told y'all.
A criminal past including convictions for aggravated assault and multiple weapons charges, as well as a pre-existing federal active warrant for being a restricted person in possession of a firearm. Brenner's violent history and his close proximity to Dylan's farm were enough for detectives to flag him as a person of interest, alongside their primary suspect, Chase Venstra. The following day, officers moved quickly to serve Brenner's arrest warrant and bring him in for questioning. They soon spotted him casually heading back towards the grain shed with his close friend, Donald Hately.
What could I do for you guys?
Well, we just had a couple things we wanted to talk to you about. We're still trying to figure stuff out, you know, and just have you guys heard or seen anything these days? Anything new?
This trash over here. I know names, I know people, I know nobody seems to want to listen to me.
I get you a seat.
They're the ones coming over stealing shit.
Are they?
Yeah. Chase Vestra and Robert Aviles are the one that robbed Michael Moore up here. But everybody keeps saying, we need Supervillain. You need to kick friggin' rat's nest over there, and people are going to start talking. That's the only way you're going to find out about Dylan.
There's a warrant for your arrest. I'm gonna let you know about it right now.
From Maryland?
So we're gonna pick you up and take you to jail with us.
Oh, God damn it.
So what I want you to do, I know before you talk, you place your hands on your head for me. Interlock your fingers, okay?
Jim pointing fingers at Robert and Chase was understandable, given witness statements and allegations. But Jim's own criminal past and proximity to Dylan made him equally suspicious. Detectives transported him to the police station, planning to use the unrelated warrant charges as an opportunity to question him further about Dylan. Though they didn't expect much new information from Jim, this routine questioning was about to lead to an unexpected breakthrough.
The warrant has been issued, and we're obligated by law if we found that served. I don't know if you realize this, but there's other bigger problems going on over there than this.
I'm here to talk to you about that warrant. You just got brought in on that warrant.
Okay.
We would like to talk to you about the other things that are going on out there.
We've got you. I understand if I know him better than you do. I work for him. That's why you're one of the reasons why you're sitting there. Yeah. Because I know you know him. Dylan used to go in the bar and he'd be bragging about how much money he's making. Dylan never carried money on him. Bought everything with a credit card. But if he did have $1 in his wallet, he wouldn't give it up. And I think this is a strong arm robbery. Somebody thought they see this little 5'5" kid, and I think they figured, we're going to get this guy. We're going to rob this guy. We're going to intimidate him. Dylan don't intimidate. With the strong arm robbery, who do you believe did? Chase and Robert Aviles. Is there any reason anyone would say you did it? If I did this, I'd be 1/6 son of a bitch. Well, there's got to be somebody that's some 6 son of a bitch somewhere. What about Don? I've known Don for over 2 years, and Don's gone out of his way to help Dylan just like I have.
As expected, Jim Brainer's statements remained mostly consistent, and he appeared genuinely convinced Chase Venstra and Robert Aviles had something to do with Dylan's disappearance. But Brainer had more details to share. Details about Dylan himself and the dangerous individuals he was attracting.
Another one, Robert Lee, just did 10 years in prison for strong arm robbery. Lo and behold, about 3 weeks ago, a fellow from Salt Lake that bought 10 acres of land over in Montello, 2 guys went into his trailer, beat him up with a pistol, whipped him, robbed him, took his cell phone, and made it so his vehicle wouldn't run. He had to walk into town to call the police. There's a lot of shit going on in Montello. Is he the one that they talk about being pistol whipped with the butt of a gun? Is that the one? Is that somebody different? I think it's the same person.
Brenner would go on to mention several other people, mostly convicted criminals from the area who could have had strong motives to rob or even kill Dylan. Clearly, he wasn't exactly narrowing things down for detectives, but at least he appeared fully cooperative. However, in just moments, Brenner would let something slip. Something that would unintentionally place him right at the center of the suspect pool.
Dylan, the shy kid. His world revolves around tractors, farming. I mean, he had a couple guns that his dad gave him, and he had a shotgun, and we found that's up in Rigby. But he always carried that in the back seat. And the pistol he had, they found that, and he was afraid to keep that loaded. He used to keep the gun in the console and keep a loaded magazine. And I told him, I said, Dylan, you either need to learn how to use that thing or put it somewhere. I said, that's going to get you killed. And it was a little late for that, but I was telling his dad that too.
Needless to say, Jim's choice of words wasn't ideal, and this wasn't the first time his statements had raised eyebrows, as he'd previously made a similar remark when Dylan first went missing, speaking about him as if he was already dead. Although several days had passed and the possibility of foul play was growing, detectives still found his comments odd. But with the rest of Brenner's interview yielding nothing new, investigators booked him into jail on his unrelated firearm possession warrant, giving them time to further investigate any possible involvement. Shortly after Jim Brenner was taken into custody, officers finally located Chase Venstra and arrested him on his unrelated warrant out of Montana. Detectives wasted no time bringing him in for questioning, but in this first interview, Chase flatly denied any involvement, insisting locals were spreading false rumors to frame him. With no hard evidence, investigators booked him into jail, but with a strategy in mind. They placed him in a cell directly above Jim Brenner, quietly hoping they would interact, and at one point, one of them might talk or slip up. Pretty quickly, this tactic paid off when Chase reached out to detectives for another interview, claiming he knew exactly what happened to Dylan and could solve the entire case.
I came to talk to you.
Cam's called you.
She actually didn't call me. Ross called me and said that you were looking to talk about Brenner. Was it Brenner and just the case, basically, right?
Yeah, they put me in there. I'm the cell above Brenner. Okay. I've gotten to talk to him. I've talked to other cellmates. I know a lot.
Okay.
I know a lot. I can put this thing to best.
to bed for you.
Well, I mean, honestly, to be straightforward with you, I can't do anything about the charges. Me myself, right? They got to be federal, right?
No, they're state.
Oh, so I didn't even know that there were any. So
I want them charges dropped. I'll solve this case for you.
All right. I'm not able to do it, so I just came to talk to you to see if you had something you wanted to tell me.
I've got everything to tell you, but when I'm out of these chains and in my clothes,
well, and that's what I'm saying. I can't make that kind of deal with you, so
that's
it's
what
fine if you don't want to.
That's what I want.
That's fine.
I just want to be left alone. I want, like, we got an ultrasound on my new baby tomorrow. I want to go be there with her. This is the very first baby. I'm applying for a job with the state out there.
I hope you get it.
I'm done with this thing. I've been drugged through the mud with this thing with Dylan. I know how it happened, where it happened, when. I know what was used, where it's at.
Okay.
I put this whole thing to bed for you guys.
Well,
okay.
And I
hate to.
I wish you could, but there's not anything I can offer you.
Yeah, I hate to be that way with you, but I've got to look out for me.
Unfortunately for detectives, their strategy backfired. Now Chase wanted to bargain his freedom in exchange for information he claimed to have. But investigators had little reason to trust Chase, and without an agreement to drop his gun charges, the interview ended without providing any new leads. On June 28th, exactly a month since Dylan went missing, police were called out after a witness reported finding something suspicious in the desert, a burial site with clear signs of something dead inside.
Oh, I smell something. Somebody came in and opened it. It wasn't like this. This wasn't here either. Oh.
Okay, go ahead and step away.
There's something dead in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it, poor baby. He killed it.
Yeah, so this is the only one that you found, huh? Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't like this yesterday, though.
Okay.
Somebody came and opened it. Yeah.
So how did it look like?
This was flat, so this was on top, and then there was another wood.
Hey man. So there is a grave, but there appears to be maybe 2 dogs, maybe 2 or 3 dogs.
Yeah, that's not human.
Yeah, 2 or 3 dogs inside. It looks like it's been here for some time. But the person, the RP is telling me that it didn't look like this yesterday, that somebody had come over and opened it up for some reason. I do have some footprints around this too.
The burial site contained dead dogs buried beneath. Not exactly what police were expecting, though it meant there still might be hope for Dylan. Just as the investigation began to settle back into a frustrating standstill, police received a call from someone they knew well. Jim Brainer's close friend, Donald Hately. He'd been around since the early days of the search, helping the family and cooperating with officers, but now, weeks into the investigation, he wanted to speak with investigators claiming he had important information to share, something he'd kept hidden ever since Dylan vanished. Detectives immediately arranged to meet with Donald, where they would finally uncover one of the first truly damning clues in the case.
Oh, I'll tell you something. Okay. I really don't think it has anything to do with anything. You guys found ammunition and stuff with Jones. Yeah. And using white powder and things in the stick. Yeah. But he figured that would be a reason to poke you or so to speak or say whatever. So he brought his black powder rifles over to black powder. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where are those? I put one behind my bed. My bedroom, the other one's laying up in the corner next to the table on the couch. When did he bring them?
after Dylan.
Oh yeah, definitely after.
Why?
Basically safety. Until last time, they had him in holding for over a year, and when he got out, everything he had was gone. Everything.
I can't ask you what's going through Jim's head at that time, but what's going through yours when he brings you his rifles and a 6-gun?
Honestly, it looked like he was scared that, he was going to be detained for 6 months or a year and lose everything he had. He said, no, but he had no idea what happened to his horses last time.
Okay.
All his gun, everything he owned disappeared.
So why do you think he's going to get detained, or why does he think he's going to get detained for 6 months?
Just because he's a felon and he could be held.
Yeah. So he knows he's a felon, he knows he shouldn't have them, and so he...
Well, I don't know. According to him, a black-powered primitive weapon is not considered a firearm. Now, if he'd brought me a firearm, I'd have said no.
Okay. So sometime after, Dylan, do you remember how long after? I mean, it's only been 3 weeks now.
That seems like forever. I wish that kid had just come walking down the road starting to kick his butt.
I wish too. But the longer this goes, the less likely that looks.
Yeah.
Donald's admission couldn't have come at a worse time for Jim Brainerd. Although Donald explained that Jim hid the guns at his place out of fear of losing them, the timing was deeply suspicious. And for detectives, this was enough to place Brainerd at the center of suspicion alongside Chase Venstra. Following this discovery, the firearms were seized and Jim Brainerd picked up an additional firearm possession charge, keeping him in jail as the investigation continued. But detectives still lacked concrete evidence against anyone, and crucial DNA results from the bloody boots found near the shed were yet to return. It seemed like the case might stall for a while. Over a year would pass, with detectives quietly making progress, including crucial DNA results, but still no sign of Dylan himself, and no one held responsible. That is, until December 2023, when investigators got a call that would change everything. Jim Brainerd's cellmate, who'd spent months locked up alongside him, claimed to know exactly what had happened to Dylan. Detectives quickly arranged an interview, expecting another bargaining scenario similar to Chase Venstra's. But what the cellmate would reveal instead was a chilling murder confession.
Mr. Brock, how are you doing, sir? Good, thank you.
So they had said that you wanted us to come back, that you had more information?
Yeah.
Or did you have information before that you just didn't give us all of it?
No, I didn't really have a whole lot of information then.
Okay.
I got plenty of information now. I got information that would probably help maybe even keep from cutting the deal that he wants to cut the deal with.
Okay.
On his right hand, nobody has noticed, he's got a bite mark.
Really?
He's got a bite from Dylan rounds. The 22 is what killed Dylan. Two shots.
22?
Yeah, the 22.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
The story tell you that?
Like 3 days ago.
Go through that.
He said it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. He was in there taking shit, and then he heard a diesel truck drive by the place he was staying in. And when he got out there, he had his 45, a gun that he put in a fold-over holster. And Dylan had picked it up off the sawhorses that he'd thrown his stuff all around, moved it up so he could put the truck in the...
So he said to the shed? Okay.
Yeah. And Dylan was holding the 45, and he said he got really pissed off at him and started yelling at him and telling him get the fuck out of there. And Dylan took the gun and fired it right beside his ear. That's why he can't hear out of his right side ear. He said he grabbed for the gun, was fighting for it. He said they ended up on the ground, and Dylan ended up shooting himself in the leg with the 45. And then he said that while they were fighting, the gun got fired like 2 or 3 times. He said there's a bullet hole in the side of the building out there you can see. He said when you guys was out there talking to him and standing in the shed or something, standing out there, he said he was sitting there looking at it. And then he showed me a scar on his thumb too, where he had stuck his hand in the gun that was trying to keep Dylan from firing it again, but he was clicking it, and his whole right hand was damaged at one time.
Okay.
But the bite mark is evident, very seeable, and the body is somewhere right there close by. He said he seen tire marks over it where you guys have been driving. Somebody had been driving on it.
Did he give you any indication of where? There's a lot of country out there.
Yeah, he said it's in the high desert.
Did he say that it was close to where he killed him?
Yeah, it's close. It's close somewhere there
where he killed him.
He gave like a 25-mile circumference.
Oh, so quite a ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so he heard Dylan drive by in his truck. Dylan had backed the truck into the grain shed.
No, he said the truck was still parked out.
So it wasn't backed in yet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't backed in, and that's when they had the fight. They had the fight and they were going on in there. He said that the round on the gun got turned. He said he heard it turn.
Like it was a revolver?
Yeah, it was a revolver. He said he got to the chance where Dylan had quit biting him on his wrist. He had latched onto him, and he said he got up and he took off out, and that's when he got to 22. Dylan told him to bring his ass back in there, or he was going to shoot the horse. The horse was standing outside.
Into the grain shed?
Yeah.
Talking about? Okay.
The horse was standing out there eating grain out of the back of the truck.
And then, from what you're saying, did he run back to the trailer and get the 22?
He said it was behind the bags, some grain bags. He said he took 3 shots at him, and they're all headshots. He said one of them grazed Dylan on the side of the face. He pointed just like this to the side of his face, so it could have been red. I couldn't tell you if it was right side or left side. But then he said 2 more shots and shot Dylan in the head.
And that killed him?
Yeah.
And then what did he do?
Then he said he burned all of his clothes. He said after he took care of everything, he burned all the clothes.
The revelations from Brenner's cellmate were chilling, to say the least. According to him, the argument that ended Dylan's life stemmed from Brenner being irritated with Dylan for repeatedly using the shed he considered his own workspace. After killing Dylan, Brenner attempted to cover up his crime by loading Dylan's body onto a backhoe, burying him deep in a remote stretch of the desert nearby. He then concealed the guns at Donald Hately's place and discarded Dylan's phone in a nearby pond, unaware it had recorded a damning, irrefutable proof of his crime. In addition to this confession, detectives turned back to the bloody boot DNA evidence they received a few months earlier. The state lab report confirms the blood belonged to Dylan, but they also found touch DNA matching Jim Brenner on the boots. Using this evidence, investigators then secured a search warrant for Brenner's phone, and by analyzing its data, they confirmed his device had traveled toward a nearby pond the day Dylan vanished. After searching the pond, they retrieved Dylan's phone containing crucial evidence. A video clearly showing Jim Brenner in a blood-stained shirt cleaning a gun. At this point, there was no longer any doubt. Jim Brenner killed Dylan Rounds and had been hiding in plain sight all along. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Brenner still sought to negotiate. Prosecutors were preparing for an aggravated murder trial, but still lacked Dylan's body, so Brenner offered prosecutors a deal. He would reveal the location of Dylan's body in exchange for reduced charges. In spring of 2024, Brenner guided law enforcement to Dylan's remains in the Lucin Desert. The burial site was several miles from the Greenshed property and was so well hidden that investigators had driven over the spot during earlier searches without noticing it. Inside the grave, they located Dylan's skeletal remains. Only bones and fragments of his clothing survived. On May 15th that same year, Brenner pled guilty to second-degree murder and 2 counts of firearm possession in exchange for dropping charges of desecrating remains and an unrelated aggravated assault case. On July 1st, Brenner was sentenced to 1 to 15 years for second-degree murder and 2 additional 1 to 15-year sentences for the firearms charges.
He better not ever get out of jail. That man better not ever get out of jail. And I told Hey, do y'all believe in UFOs and aliens and stuff and like secret technology they don't want to show you? Because the FBI raided this man home after he flew a drone at Area 51, which I know is highly classified. But why the FBI have to come?
We do know that it is against the law to fly a drone in a restricted area.
Absolutely.
It was an icy cold winter morning on November 3rd of 2022. Out of nowhere, 2 residences were simultaneously raided, one in Rachel, Nevada, and the other in Las Vegas. Doors were busted open at both locations, and 15 to 20 agents rushed into each of the homes. The residents were quickly located, and a man was removed from the Rachel address. He claimed he was handcuffed and led outside in below freezing temperatures while clad in only a t-shirt and sweats. Approximately 100 miles away at the Las Vegas home, the man's girlfriend, Linda Hello, is said to have experienced the same situation. The woman was allegedly forced to exit the residence barefoot and dressed only in her undergarments. In the midst of the chaos, the man has claimed a variety of items were seized from the homes, including laptops, cell phones, backup drives, and camera gear. In addition, a drone was confiscated as well. You're likely wondering who these mysterious agents were, storming houses in those early morning hours. It was a joint venture, actually. The Air Force Office of Special Investigations working in conjunction with the FBI to carry out the covert operations. Serious business, no doubt about it. The potential reason behind the raids, however, was murky, until now, as you'll soon see. A statement provided by a spokesman for Nellis Air Force Base located in Las Vegas cited an open and ongoing investigation and declined to provide further information pertaining to the basis for the investigation. The man behind the raids happens to be Jorg Arnu, the longtime operator of a tiny website called Dreamland Resort. Jorg's site focuses on none other than the infamous Area 51, and he also happens to live right on the border of Area 51 in a tiny town called Rachel, Nevada. Though the raids proved to be big news, an intriguing encounter that Jorg has never mentioned publicly occurred approximately 6 months prior. This event somehow didn't make its way into the media, and he somehow failed to ever mention it. We've obtained exclusive footage that has never been seen before, and it reveals details of a specific event that likely led to the carefully executed raids. It all started on a sunny late May afternoon in 2022. A deputy had been dispatched to the Nevada Test and Training Range, also known as Area 51.
How we doing, sir?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. We got a report that people are flying drones.
Not us.
In this area?
Not us. We have the drone with us, but we haven't launched it yet today.
Okay. We do know that it is against the law to fly a drone in a restricted area.
Absolutely.
Okay, do you have a map of where, because this right here, even though you're not on the boundary, the airspace goes way out here.
Yeah, I do know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not planning on flying the drone here. We'll just do some filming, and we're actually doing one more shot and then we're out of here.
Okay. Okay, do you have your ID and anything?
I do.
Okay.
However, the information received by dispatch from a representative of the base wasn't consistent with Jorg's assertion.
Yeah, it also reported that the drone went up and actually went into across the boundary.
The drone?
Yeah, the drone.
I promise you that was not us.
That wasn't.
No.
Was anybody out here?
There was 2 tourists that came out, but none of them had drones.
None of them had drones.
But it seems there was a perfectly convenient explanation.
But there was a white plastic bag. I saw a plastic bag that might have blown over across the boundary.
It appears as though the man in the green shirt gives a quick partial shrug here. When only one shoulder goes up, this can indicate that the person isn't as confident in their answer as they should be. For this reason, it can be a possible indicator of deception.
That might have been what they saw, but I can promise you. I mean, you can look at the logs of my drone. We did not fly it today. We were planning on doing some flying in Rachel, but not here, right?
It's interesting that although Jorg offered that the detective could look at the log, he then quickly continued talking without waiting for the officer to respond. This could have been an attempt to look honest, while also making it less likely that the officer would take him up on his offer. It seems like all of this could have been cleared up right away by just looking at the drone log.
I actually live part-time in Rachel.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I recognized you.
Yeah.
Hence the raid that would come later at the Rachel residence. The deputy reviews the limitations when it comes to conduct near the restricted area.
As long as you're going by the rules, man. That's all. But there is that Lincoln County code that has that you can't fly the drone up above in a, you know what I'm saying? It's not just the boundary. The airspace goes so many miles up in the air that direction from the boundary. And
York provides the deputy with some reassurance.
The closest we're going to fly is in Rachel.
Okay.
They're going to do some flying in Rachel, do some aerial shots.
Okay.
I don't want any trouble, and I told them we are not flying at the gate.
Okay. Yeah, just have him just drive right up here, and I'll go talk to these guys and make sure we're good, and then we'll go on our way.
Okay.
Okay, let me just have that back. Now that I know, because this is your vehicle, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, it came out to your vehicle. So I have you. I just need to get their information, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, no problem. Yeah,
Thank you very much for cooperation.
Thank you.
The officer approaches the facility to speak with staff. A little over 10 minutes later, the officer emerges from the base.
They're still adamant that a drone went over and flew over, okay? I wasn't here. I don't know.
I promise you it was not us, and it was probably that plastic bag. I didn't see it, but they all saw the plastic bag.
However, it's difficult to imagine that the flight of a plastic bag could closely resemble that of a drone, so much so that it could be mistaken for one.
I don't know what it is, but just, that's all you got on your shirt, man. It's a restricted area.
Very true. Take a closer look at your shirt.
So all I ask is when you come out here, just understand where you're at. It says right there, photography is prohibited. It says all that right there.
The deputy begins to collect some information relating to the identities of the men and their reason for being in the area.
So are you guys from Florida, or is that a rental, or Germany?
Notice how both men are holding their water bottles in front of their torso. They may be using it as a barrier between them and the officer in order to reduce some of their discomfort. However, this doesn't necessarily mean they're lying. Even someone who is telling the truth may feel nervous when they're confronted by a police officer. However, if they are guilty of flying the drone, then it would certainly make sense why they're feeling stressed now.
Yeah, they're doing a production for a German documentary.
York appears to feel more at ease and confident. If he is lying about the drone use, he may be more of an accomplished liar compared to the other two.
Thanks, Arnold.
We are planning on going out to the front gate tomorrow. We are not going to fly a drone. Just to let you know.
Okay.
We are going to be respectful of boundary and of security and all that.
If I were you, I wouldn't even take the drone.
The deputy's advice not to bring the drone is well-founded, though it may not be enforceable. Mere possession of an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, under these circumstances is not illegal. On the other hand, it's unclear what the enforcement relationship is between base security and the local sheriff. Given base security statements and party statements, there is an inconsistency as to whether or not a drone even flew that day. The deputy takes down the name and address of each individual and learns that most of whom are residents of Berlin, Germany, with the exception of Jorg.
Will you write your address down right there for me?
After the deputy has gathered all of the necessary information relating to the identities of the individuals, he shares with them some words of wisdom. This is what's known as field counseling. His advice is just that, advice.
Like I said, just be careful. Like I said, if I'm in Germany and Berlin, I'm going to be very respectful of your bases, your military, stuff like that. So that's all I ask, and I would not bring that. Okay, because if it does fly and go over, and they come out and they improve it, then they're going to take it.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
All right, are you guys done here? Are you going to be around more?
Actually, we just have one shot very far. That's it.
Okay.
Of me driving up to the gate and then we're on if you're going back to race.
Okay, can you get that done in the next little bit?
Yes, we will. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to pull over here. I got to do some things. Hurry up, get it done. And if you can, you don't have to. But just tomorrow, and make sure. I would not, like I said, I can't tell you what necessarily to do, but I would not bring that tomorrow, just
We
because.
talked about that we're actually going to leave it in one car by the highway and then take one car down.
Yeah, don't give it, like I said, I'm not saying you guys are lying.
The officer has stated, like I said, which is a referral statement, 4 times in around a minute. When someone is asked a question and uses a referral statement, it can be a possible indicator of deception, as they may be trying to make their statement sound more credible. However, the officer is not answering questions, but rather just making statements. It's possible that he's trying to be convincing.
So, all right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
It seems that the following day's filming was completed without further incident. However, during the course of the 6 months that followed, York was on the radar of both the FBI and Air Force Office of Special Investigations.
Hey, is he over explaining everything, or am I tripping? Am I? Making sure. Oh yeah, the water bottle. I know, right?
Investigation is still ongoing. Though York has never been formally charged, he claims damages to his homes as a result of the raids total approximately $5,000. In addition, he claims his loss of seized equipment is projected to be somewhere around $20,000. However, this amount seems to randomly change through statements he's given to multiple sources. As of this video, he has raised $15,000 for the supposed damage to his home and lost equipment. It's unknown why he never told various sources about the Area 51 drone incident or ever mentioned it publicly. It makes you wonder why exactly York would leave this detail out of his numerous media interviews, where he promotes his GoFundMe for the damage caused by the so-called unjustified raids and false accusations, especially when he's mentioned the agents were specifically asking him about his drone. However, York recently published a copy of the search and seizure warrant, which included the reasons for the raid. The main reason outlined was using an aircraft to take photography of a military installation. The warrant also listed items to be seized during the raid, including records and information relating to any military installations, military operations, national defense information, and classified or unclassified programs in the United States, as well as any digital devices which contained evidence of those offenses, and any evidence of who used, owned, or controlled the device, which collected the information about military operations. The warrant also specified the seizure of anything which contained evidence of the times the device, likely the drone, was used. The warrant also outlined that if York, as the person who had items seized, wanted any of the information taken to be returned to him, it would be copied and given back, but only if the information didn't include any records or documents relating to military operations. Contained evidence.
But he don't want to tell everybody what he did was wrong, because he was lying. Now, was this narrator stretching everything? Like JD said, yeah, he was stretching everything. But yeah, he was lying. And what's up, everybody? Look, we got another video. He said, you know they got baseball fields over there. more than baseball. Look, y'all, we got a predator that got out of prison and immediately kidnapped somebody again, like he was just in jail plotting and waiting. This is why you don't let people out of jail, because they just gonna be mad. Some people don't learn their lesson. They just get mad and madder and just wait on their day.
This image was from yesterday. You remember that? The surveillance image of that day.
Saturday, September 2nd, 2023, Orlando, Florida. In broad daylight at 2500 South Kirkman Road, Orlando, Florida, in the parking lot of the Walmart neighborhood market, witnesses call the police to report that a woman has been violently approached by an armed man. Officers must arrive at the scene immediately to check on the victim's condition and locate the suspect. Within moments, what should have been a routine trip to the grocery store turned into a crime scene. But fortunately, there are witnesses, and one of them has proof. I'm Tyler, and today's Daily Dose of Crime features never-before-seen exclusive content from police records and court documents. Every individual involved is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Viewer discretion is advised for mature content.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
So
it was
around
you?
4:30, it
Okay.
happened to her. Yeah, I got my groceries.
Were you a witness?
Yes, and I tried to stop him, and I tried to get a video. I don't know if
Okay.
it'll help at all, but
Do you have anything inside the store? Any groceries or anything like that?
no.
Okay, let's step outside because we have all our paperwork outside. While we walk, are you requesting any medical attention? No?
Actually, when the strap broke in my purse, the shoes fell out of my purse, so I was able to keep my keys.
Okay, and those keys are from your vehicle?
I just got my phone at home.
Okay. Besides the cut on the side of your neck, you sustained any other injuries? No. Okay.
Cotton out from him sticking out his blood fingers down my throat.
We're gonna go to the left. You sure you don't want medical attention? You don't know what type of germs and stuff is on that knife?
It was a very deep gash, and I think she's still processing the
You know?
trauma and not even realizing how intense what I could describe it for her.
Sure.
She's still barely shaking, so I
I will speak to you, but we're gonna do that separately. Okay? So, would you want me to call the fire department for you to come check you out?
Just call the fire
I
department.
had to get home because they're
You
probably
sure?
wondering.
All right. So, I have my partner coming up to me now. He'll take your statement and I'll speak to you. What is your name, ma'am? Okay, and your name? Okay.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up, brother?
all my phone numbers are on my phone. It's like I don't have a
Victim
memory.
here.
I'm gonna start talking to the witness here. I'll separate
saw
them.
it happen?
Yep.
All right. Come here, man. So you do a statement.
When officers arrive, one of them meets with the victim and a witness. As they walk through the parking lot with the officer to reconstruct the incident, the woman appears visibly nervous but stable, allowing her to fully cooperate with police and provide enough information to help identify the suspect, who appears to have fled the scene.
Where did it happen, ma'am?
I finished shopping. I was in right by the liquor store. I was the first car in the row. Okay. And I was putting my groceries away. I just put soda in the car. Didn't even finish.
Where were you parked?
Right across from the liquor store.
Right across from the liquor store in the first spot. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And he just came right up. At first, I thought somebody was playing a joke. It's like, you know.
Were you like in your trunk putting stuff?
Yeah, I was taking it from the car and putting it in
Yeah,
the car. So he came up
think
from
so.
behind me. And then he kept saying, then finally he was like, no, I'm not playing, because he stuck a thing in my neck.
The victim gives her statement and describes how, after finishing her shopping and heading to her car, a man she didn't recognize approached her with a knife. She says she screamed as loud as she could and believes that helped to alert others who were nearby.
Screaming so hard, and then he stuck his fingers with his glove down my throat, though, then I couldn't, but she saw that.
Okay.
Because he's like, well, I'm just going to shove you in your trunk. So I had my purse around me. I didn't just have it on my shoulder. I had it around to load of groceries. Yeah.
A man ran?
Yeah.
I seen him.
Where's he at?
Why didn't you tackle the
Where's
I
he?
ain't know. I thought it seemed weird.
Where'd you see him?
I got a video.
Yeah, he ran.
How long ago?
50. It said, oh no. 4:30.
Oh, 4:30? Okay.
Yeah, right here.
It was a while ago, okay.
Did you ever get to see what he looked like?
Let me see.
Nope. I just thought he was weird because he had a person.
Yeah, that's him.
So you got to look at him.
On. Yeah,
And he had gloves on.
But he was wearing a vest like this.
Can you email that to me right now?
Yeah, I got you.
Was he walking back towards the store?
Yeah, he was walking. Well, first he ran past me, then he started walking back towards the store.
Is there any way you can check the restroom to see if he's on my phone?
In the restroom?
You think he came back in?
Well, it looks like he's heading back in.
Actually, you know what? I'll do? Just play it. I'll record it on mine. All right, thanks, sir. No problem. Seems good for now.
Another witness approaches with a video. The footage clearly showing the suspect at the moment of attack. The victim watches and doesn't hesitate to confirm that it's the same man who assaulted her. The officer records the video onto his device, and this evidence may be key in identifying the suspect quickly and to secure charges in a future case.
With my front lines on the road, closing 99, parking from the road, and then stop. You saw me and let her go right in the
I doubt it would be useful, but I also tried to take a video when I hopped out of my car to like record him, but I couldn't get him clearly anywhere in it. But I
clarify,
he did.
Yeah, clarify this for me. Legs flailing out of the trunk.
Like, so
was she in the trunk?
Her torso was in the trunk, and all I saw while driving by was. And again, some people might think it's a TikTok skit, or people record stuff. So, because when I was describing the situation to the Walmart manager, before she even believed me, she asked me, well, are you sure they weren't joking, or are you sure they weren't
Step on the side,
around?
grab your.
So I was saying, ma'am, I'm 100% sure they were not playing around, and luckily enough, even though they dismissed it off at first, obviously the victim came back, and then they were able to attest that, this is a true story.
The main witness explains that from a distance, she had seen the victim's legs sticking out of the car's trunk. At first, she thought it might be a couple making a joke or a video for social media. That is until she got closer and realized that it was actually a kidnapping.
She says, help. I'm like, that's my cue. Within, he starts running, booking it, and I try yelling at everyone in this parking lot to stop him, and no one goes.
Can you describe the gentleman?
The heavier set, definitely.
Yeah, can you just write it in there?
Yeah, well, so Caucasian, balding, he had no hair. He was heavy set with a light chartreuse, like a light green shirt, and a complete white face mask over his head.
Okay, all right. Any pants?
That I cannot recall.
Okay, which direction did he go?
So
on foot or in a vehicle?
Yeah, so about again like three or four aisles down. It was the very first row, front row. As I'm driving and trying to keep up with him, he keeps going between the rows, between the bushes, so I lose him. But he ended up like where the man in the green shirt is. He went down that aisle towards Wendy's, and that's the last I saw him.
On foot. On foot.
He booked it on foot because he was trying to take her in her own car.
Okay, if you could just put in there that the suspect or whatever you said, however you addressed him as, ran off in that direction. That over there is towards Goldenrod.
Okay, so he went through the bushes on foot towards the Wendy's. I put towards Goldenrod.
Yeah, you can just put that right at the end. Yep, Wendy's towards Goldenrod. Thank you. All right, and if you could just sign that for me, please. Let me just get your telephone number. Okay, let me just have them review this real quick because he's gonna be the one that's doing the report, and I'll be right back with you. Okay? Take a look at her sleep. Good. All right. You gonna take this? I'm gonna let her go.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna let her go. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Raquel. Take care. Have a good day. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
The first witness to assist the victim gives a detailed physical description of the suspect. Before leaving, he shares one critical detail. He saw the suspect run toward a nearby Wendy's just across the parking lot. That specific direction helps police to narrow the search. The suspect's profile now becomes clear. A white, bald, heavy-set man wearing a distinctive shirt. Officers now have a physical description, a direction of travel, and a video, and the pursuit begins.
On the ground now, you're gonna be there. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. Good.
Let's set you up, man.
All right.
1 5 0 6 plan. 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 1 5 0 6
What's your name, man?
Juan Perez.
Okay. We'll slide you back in the shade, man.
Only one day later, and not far from the original scene, officers spot a man matching the description in the same shopping plaza near the Walmart. They approach him and arrest him without resistance. The man, later identified as Juan Marcos Perez, is the same person seen in the security footage. Police confirm that they've apprehended the main suspect, but is he truly the person who's responsible?
You can sit on the ground if that's more comfortable. No, I don't want you to run away, man. I don't know that.
Go ahead, pop it on the ground for me, partner.
We'll have a car coming to get you in some AC in just a sec.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do it. So.
Perez doesn't resist arrest, but cooperates with officers and quietly looks around, seemingly indifferent. His behavior causes the officers to hesitate. Either they've arrested the wrong man, or the suspect fits a clear psychopathic profile.
You're just being detained pending an investigation. Once a detective gets here, he'll talk to you and let you know, okay? Or we might just actually get you out of this heat, and then he'll go talk to you somewhere else, okay? That way nobody can hear what's going on. It's probably got to be pretty close. It's close enough. I'll take it out of the sun at least. It's the battery pack for the GPS.
Oh, awesome. Like a game or something? All right.
It's got to be in a certain distance.
You all right? Do you need water or anything? No. I'll get you water. Huh?
I figure we're going to put this stuff in here.
Supervillain is gonna help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't hurt. I didn't notice those, so Kenny already went and grabbed these. Maybe not wallet.
So your car registered to you?
Hey, Juan. I'm Detective Ortiz. This is Detective Asberger. I'm going to be talking to you today. Okay. I know it's probably a little bit more comfortable if we talk with your handcuffs off, because I know it's a little uncomfortable, and it's, you know, we'll try to make this as comfortable as we can. Yeah, my shoulder's killing. Yeah. It's easier to have him sit here. Yeah. So we're just going to have you sit here for an interview. I'm going to take off the cuffs.
I know that can't be too comfortable.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. We'll see if the officer has an extra pair later. That way you're not dealing with this later or anything like that.
Perez is taken into an interrogation room where the setting is cold and controlled. Detectives remove his handcuffs to make him more comfortable. One of them sits across from him, explaining that what's about to happen is a formal interview. The tone is polite, but the tension is palpable. They simply want to understand who the man is, why he tried to kidnap a woman, and whether there's something more behind the attack.
So let's just start with something simple. What's your name? Juan Perez. Juan Perez? Mm-hmm. You go by any nicknames or anything like that? No? Any tattoos? I don't know. Just two. That one. You got two tattoos. Boricua? You're Puerto Rican? Mm-hmm. I'm Puerto Rican too. Okay.
Got a family member?
That's my son.
Your son? How old is your son?
He's 32, 33.
Oh.
He was born 92.
And you're Puerto Rican. And what's your date of birth?
9/17/69.
Okay. Were you born in Puerto Rico? Born here?
Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York. Okay. How tall are you?
5'8"-ish. 5'8". 5'5".
Your height?
About 5'8".
5'8". Sorry, your weight.
250 something.
Yeah, me and you are on the same page right now, so that's how much I weigh, around 250. So, hair, obviously you don't have any hair right now.
Well, when I had it was brown.
It's brown hair? Is that just your own choice? Just easier to shave?
No, it's just...
I mean, it's Florida, it's hot. I shave my hair, so I get it.
The initial questions aim to build a profile of the suspect. Full name, date of birth, home address, eye color, tattoos, and phone number. Perez answers calmly until they ask for his phone number, and that's when he reveals something investigators did not expect.
What's a good phone number for you if we needed to contact you?
Right now it's going to be my wife, because it's going to be me?
Yeah, your phone number.
Oh, shit, I'm not going nowhere.
Huh?
Just the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you right now, I'm getting violated.
Well, I mean, just a phone number to contact you. I mean, typically it's your phone.
Yeah, well, put my wife's number because...
We'll use both.
Her number.
And then typically your phone number?
It's really irrelevant. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it's really irrelevant because, again, the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you, it's automatic violation of probation or CRD.
Okay.
So you won't be getting in contact with me on that phone ever.
I know, but eventually, if I did have to call you, because obviously you provide that phone number to your probation officer, I mean, it's just a phone number that we typically would contact. We have to put it on file.
Yeah.
So.
Don't.
Okay. Where do you work right now?
I don't.
You're not working right now?
No, when I do work, like this morning I went to Staff Zone. That's a temp agency right there on Button Road.
Okay. So you just do temp work?
Mm-hmm.
Any recent spots you worked recently? Any spots or locations where they had you? No? Were you in the process of getting work? Is that what it was? So obviously there's more questions I have to ask you, but one of the things we have to provide you is with your Miranda warning, and once we do that, we'll continue to ask the rest of these questions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one will be provided for you before questioning without charge. Do you understand?
Yes.
Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me today?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Now that we got that out of the way, I just have a couple more questions, okay? I know some people are a little comfortable talking about their arrest record. Have you been arrested before?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what were you arrested for previously?
In Florida and New York.
Let's just start with Florida.
Okay, kidnapping and lewd and lascivious. Got a 25-year sentence on the kidnapping, 15 years on the lewd and lascivious, running concurrent. Did 22 years and 3 months. Got out January 24, 22.
So you've been out for about 2 years?
Over 2 years.
Yeah.
A detective shifts the tone and brings up a disturbing point: the suspect's criminal history. Perez responds without hesitation. He served 25 years in prison for kidnapping and lewd and lascivious conduct with a minor. Later, he violated his parole after 13 years, which extended his sentence, a detail that drastically changes the gravity of the case.
What about your medical history? You been hospitalized?
No. This a sick man. This is what a sick individual look like. Man, this dude is...
For anything recently or anything like that?
Nah.
The most recent hospitalization was a motorcycle accident. That was in, we're 24 now, so 23. About, it's March or May of 23. It was a motorcycle accident.
All right. So you have all your limbs?
Yeah, it's just my right leg is messed up.
Okay.
You take any medication for it or anything?
I'm taking medication for other stuff like diabetes, hypertension.
Okay.
I just feel like if you kidnap somebody and violate your parole, you should have to go back to jail. Like I don't understand letting people talking about or in Florida. Like, what do you mean? So that was just new. Okay.
Michael, you use any cigarettes, cigars,
whatever states.
No, I smoke cigarettes.
Smoke cigarettes. Is it often?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you say, like frequent uses? Frequent uses, like moderate, or?
Well, about a pack of cigarettes is going to last me about half a week.
What about alcohol?
No.
No alcohol? When was the last time you may have used alcohol?
Oof. I don't remember.
And then the last question, any or anything like that in the past 2 years or when you were released? Okay. All right. So we're obviously here for a reason today. And I would assume that you may know what's going on somewhat. Has anybody explained it? No.
I've actually no one's told me anything.
Okay. So I like to start off with very basic stuff. Is this an image of you when you got picked up in November of last year on your violation of probation? Mm-hmm. It is you?
That's me.
Okay. So what were you doing in that image? I know it's a dumb question, but
I was looking at the camera.
So this is taking a mugshot?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You're using just the initial saying that that's you. So, then to collaborate that this was the same day that.
Hey, look, I don't mean to throw y'all off, but he only been out of jail for like 2 years at this point. How the hell he got a wife? How do these inmates be getting wives and stuff so quick? And like,
you got picked up from the probation office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something.
I remember the shirt.
Okay. Was that a work shirt?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What company were you working for there?
Sparkling Image Oil Change Center.
The one off of Michigan?
No, there's one on Raleigh Street off of Hiawassee, and there's one on Lake Margaret off Cimarron.
Okay. There's a bunch of them. I know a lot of cops go there. That's why I was
here in Orlando, it's just those two.
Okay. This image was from yesterday. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just at Walmart. Did you visit Walmart yesterday?
$4.17.
It was around 4 o'clock. That's just a surveillance image of that day.
Well, I don't have sneakers like that. I don't have a shirt like that.
That's obviously you.
Well,
who's
you want me to verify that that's me? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
There's an image of you.
The detective shows the suspect 2 photographs. One is an old mugshot and the other is a picture taken during a recent arrest. Perez identifies the first image without issue. But when shown a frame of the video from the Walmart security footage the same day as the incident, his demeanor changed. He claims the man in the footage isn't him, denying it firmly, and despite the visual evidence. But to investigators, that denial no longer seems credible, especially considering what comes next.
And like I told you earlier, the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you, in and of itself, tells me that I'm not going nowhere. So for me to collaborate in any way further without my attorney present, then
yeah, but if you don't want to say that that's you in the image, that's fine. But if you want to continue talking about why you're here today, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're okay with us continuing?
Yeah. When I feel uncomfortable, I'll say water.
Yeah. So I mean, that's completely your option. I just want to make sure it's okay with you. And at any time, if you feel like you need to do that, you are able to do that. Okay. So let's just start with the basic timeline. Okay. So what did you do yesterday?
Oh, gosh. What did I do yesterday? What time did I leave my house, first of all? Just up there. That was Labor Day. So
Labor Day,
didn't have to go out at 5. I don't remember where they started. I think I left my house at 7.
Perez hesitates to respond. He fidgets and moves his hands, not because he's trying to recall what happened the day before, but because he's trying to invent a convincing answer. Once again, his behavior reveals who he truly is.
I mean, it was just yesterday.
I know.
I mean, do you remember some highlights of your day yesterday?
Yeah, I hung out with friends, smoked, home with my wife.
Was that during the day?
Yes.
Around what time were you with your wife?
Before I left home, and then when I got home. So I got home about 5. I think 5 p.m. or somewhere.
Okay. So from when you left your wife to when you got back home, what did you do?
I hung out with friends.
Hung out with friends?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did you go?
We just drove around. Smoked, talked. I was a girlfriend.
Okay.
That's why.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like clandestine.
Okay. You are on probation right now, right?
Yes. CRD.
So, hold on, let's give him a minute. Already being very untruthful and stuff. Well, give me a second.
Perez doesn't provide a clear timeline. He claims he saw some friends, smoked, and spent time with his wife. But then he adds that he went for a walk with a female friend that morning. When detectives ask for more details, he goes silent. What he says is clearly untrue, and the investigators know it. But still, he refuses to admit anything and keeps an arrogant tone.
So, I want to ask you again about your day yesterday.
Okay.
Because obviously this is the reason why we're here.
Right, and based off what he just mentioned, you know what, let's just go ahead and lawyer up, and I don't mind talking to you with him present.
Okay.
After I've spoken to him, and then if he wants to sit in the room, that's fine.
Gotcha. And you have that right to do that. All right, buddy. You want to know your charges?
Sure.
It's going to be attempted kidnapping, robbery, you have aggravated battery, and battery.
Okay.
All right. We'll be within a minute. Sure.
Will I still be here when you guys come back with the attorney? Will we talk again here?
That probably not. That's a process. You would have to get a signed one from the state attorney's office.
Okay.
Or from the public defender's office, so it'll be in a minute.
What about
if you would like to discuss in the future, I can provide you with my business card and we can talk.
Okay, am I going to be allowed to call my wife and let her know that I'm detained?
You'd be doing that at the jail.
Yeah, the officer that takes you to jail will explain all that.
You're under arrest right now. So.
Yes, sir.
For the events that took place, Juan Marcos Perez was formally charged with attempted kidnapping, armed robbery with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, simple assault, and destruction of evidence. In addition, he was charged with violating parole, as at the time of the attack he was under court-ordered supervision due to his criminal record. He's currently being held without the right to bail, and at the time this video is published, court proceedings are still ongoing and no final sentence has been issued.
Oh man, they said a man executed a witness for testifying in a murder trial. Like, set out the law and crime.
Come out to the sound of my voice with your hands up and empty.
So as of right now, you are under arrest. We have charges of an open count of murder.
He looked like he did it. I'm stereotyping.
A hit on him.
Okay, and what was that reasoning?
Because somebody, I don't know if it was the man he testified against, was trying to get parole.
Okay.
And what, in their words, it was, if in order for him to get that, Kenneth had to be gone.
It's just before 1 a.m. at an Elks Lodge in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where people can be seen mingling and dancing before this man, seen here, allegedly decides now is a good time to put a deadly end to a long-standing grudge. Take a look at this surveillance video that investigators say shows 46-year-old Theodore Toney moments before carrying out a fatal shooting. The suspect casually walks toward the dance floor before briefly stepping out of the camera view. But seconds later, Theodore returns, briefly stopping to chat with another patron before heading into the bathroom area. Meanwhile, the soon-to-be victim enters the frame here, identified as 40-year-old Kenneth Ellis, who investigators said testified against Theodore's son in a homicide trial nearly a decade prior. Kenneth can be seen in an embrace with another patron before heading over to a table area, when seconds later, Theodore reappears and again steps out of the view of the security camera. With one last hug, Kenneth goes to leave the late-night dance party. That's when investigators said Theodore reached out and fatally shot him in the head. Seconds later, the suspect is caught on another surveillance camera, making a hasty exit from the scene. It takes investigators less than a day to track down Theodore at a nearby apartment complex.
Apartment B. We have a search warrant for your residence. Come out to the sound of my voice with your hands up and empty. This is the Albuquerque Police Department. Occupants of we have a search warrant for your property. Come outside to the sound of my voice with your hands up and empty. Did you comply with my commands?
New subscriber alert.
Yes, if you have any dogs, you can bring them out, but come out with nothing else.
New subscriber alert.
Police didn't release footage of Theodore's actual arrest, but one detective fills us in on what allegedly happened in a pre-trial interview.
At that point, once we obtained the search warrant and the arrest warrants for Mr. Toney, a plan was made for ISU detectives with some other assisting investigative detectives to conduct a surround and call out. We also had assistance from tactical personnel. What a surround and call out means is we just basically set up an inner perimeter around the apartments. We use kind of distance and cover just to provide the safest possible means to take individuals into custody. PA announcements are conducted.
Into custody without incident.
And Mr. Toney exited. He was compliant. And he was taken into custody. The
detective explains that Theodore was taken into custody without incident, where we find him next.
Detective needs to learn how to get to the point. Oh my lord.
Yes. Hey, so sorry about the wait, man. I'm Detective Stephanie Rockrow. So I'm just touching up a few things over here. Are you good right now? I just wanted to check on you, make sure you need water or something. Okay, cool. So what we'll do is give me like maybe 5-10 minutes, and I'll come back here, take you in the room. If you want to talk, we'll talk.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I don't have anything to talk about.
Okay. We still have a search warrant that we need to execute, okay? It's already been signed by a judge for your DNA. So.
My DNA?
Yes, sir. It's just going to be some prints. We're going to do major case prints on you, and then also do some bone swabs in your mouth. Okay? That's already for your DNA.
Why?
So, well, if you want to talk, we could talk over here.
I still need to know why.
Yeah. So as of right now, you are under arrest. We have charges of an open count of murder.
What?
Yes, sir. And that's why we're gonna get your DNA. So it's already been signed by a judge. I heard you've been really chill with him. I appreciate you being cooperative. Please don't try to fight us.
Oh no, I just.
All right. So.
If that's the case, I need a lawyer. Yeah. And I don't want to talk about nothing.
That's fair. And you already said that, so I'm not gonna interview you.
Okay.
Okay. But we still have to get your DNA. That's already, it's a legal document signed by a judge. Okay. So give me a few minutes, and then we'll get set up. Okay.
Theodore refuses to talk and demands a lawyer before police return to escort him to another room for fingerprinting and DNA swabs.
We're making progress. We're almost done here, okay? So we'll do that. We'll execute that warrant, and then you'll be good. Important to offer anonymous. We're right around the corner, so right here.
All right, so I just gotta take some photos of you, okay?
Alright, we're gonna take his cuffs off for now, because he's gonna have to read his prints and stuff. You can fix your pockets if you need to.
So if I could have you stand up against this wall right here. Close that so we can move over.
I'm gonna take your hands out of your pocket. There you go.
A search of Theodore's criminal record reveals multiple assault and battery charges, with some involving a deadly weapon. Next, one officer inquires about an injury on the suspect's hand.
Okay. What'd you do?
I got bit by a dog.
Oh no. Is it a big dog? Oh no. Ouch. My chihuahua bites me, but he doesn't have teeth. So it doesn't really matter anymore. Ouch.
While officers continue processing the suspect, let's fast forward a few days when one witness comes forward.
Is there any questions you have for me about the case that I can most likely answer for you now?
So I heard, and this is why it was like just it didn't sit right with me, is I spoke to his sister who has been in contact with her, and she told them that this is his sister and his mom. Why there was a hit on him.
Okay, and what was that reasoning?
Because somebody, I don't know if it was the man he testified against, was trying to get parole.
Okay.
And what, in their words, it was, and if in order for him to get that, Kenneth had to be gone. I know, like, legally that's not how it works, but that is, like, why would you tell the family that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Who told you that?
I don't know.
So in order for the person that he testified against to get paroled, Kenneth had to be gone. Who's his sister? How do you spell that? Oh, right, we went over this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have her phone number, or how she contact you?
I have her number.
Okay. I've heard that too.
Okay.
Some kind of briefly. I'll have to go through jail calls to get that information. It's just that's going to take me some time. But if you hear anything else like that, please let me know, okay? I know it's a lot of rumors and a lot of things.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're just looking, we know who did it, we're just looking for a motive. Obviously, we know part of it, I think. I'm confident that we know part of it, I just need to, the rest of it would be good.
The witness explains what investigators already suspected, that Theodore allegedly targeted Kenneth for testifying against his family member.
Yeah, that's just why would you have that detail?
Yeah.
And you're friends with all the people involved.
Yes.
So it just, that didn't sit right. And then, I'm not trying to push it towards her, but that's...
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
reasoning,
I know people are talking, they're just not talking to the right person. But I'll find out. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, and
Right.
if anybody else is involved, they will be charged. If somebody set this up to get Kenneth there on that specific night, I will find that out, and they will be charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy. Even if they don't pull the trigger, I will still charge every single person involved if I get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
I hope that happens.
Absolutely. Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
I'll take this for you. I'll have to clean up this. I'll just toss this. Alrighty, man.
Alrighty.
We'll walk. I can walk out this way.
Next, the detective gets to talk to another witness who says they were there the night of the fatal shooting.
So I wanted to talk to you about that because I was told that you actually saw what happened because you were right there.
No, I was in my storage room. That's what the money, and me and the bartender was in there getting change, and I heard a shot, and I came out, and I said, oh, somebody bust a balloon. And we opened the door and came out, and the guy was laying on the floor. And I told her, close it. She said, no, it's not a balloon, it's a shot. Because the guy's laying out, and I looked outside, and he was laying on the floor. I said, close the door because I don't know if they're going to continue shooting or not.
Yeah.
So we closed the door and went back in there, me and her, for about a few minutes when people were running out and, screaming and hollering. So I went back out, and that's just the way it was. I didn't see any shooting or nothing.
Awesome. So, and I apologize. There's a lot of footage to go through.
All right.
If anything, after I look at this footage a little bit better, if I have any questions, would it be okay if I give you a call back?
That's fine, man, because you ain't going to see me on that footage unless it was afterwards, because I wasn't even nowhere around.
So after the shooting that happened, did you hear who shot?
I was just told by several people that, what's his name? I forget his name, but the one that did the shooting, I was told by several people that he did the shooting.
Okay. Do you remember his name?
No, Tony? I think it's Tony.
Okay.
Investigators said it was tough to get any witness to come forward over fear of retaliation. But in another pretrial interview, one more witness gives her side of the story.
So were you at the bar when this happened?
I actually was not at the bar at the time of the shooting. I had just walked back into our closet to receive change. So I actually didn't see anything that happened.
Did you hear something?
Yes, I heard one loud pop. It kind of sounded like a balloon almost popping.
What happened after you heard that?
After I heard the pop, I kind of looked at the bar manager and I asked him, what was that? What happened? And so we came from around the corner from our liquor closet, and that's when I kind of seen everybody standing around, and I forgot his name, who got shot. That's when I saw him fall by the DJ booth.
So Mr. Ellis was not on the ground yet when you came out?
No, when I came, he was kind of standing, kind of like wobbling, and then he kind of like dropped.
Who did you see in near him at that time?
It was a lot of people, but the only one I can remember the most was, I believe it was his wife or his girlfriend.
Theodore was later found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life behind bars.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, these ones, they're written out so different.
Yeah. No, this. Not this one. Just these four. And that's this.
So then these two are yours.
This. Can you use your restroom before you put your cuffs back on? Well, we're gonna put
just water though.
Yeah, okay, just water. I'll grab that real quick and then I'll meet you back out there. I'll put you back. Thank you for appreciate it.
Yeah. Man, this is crazy. This right here. In a crowded bar, pull out a gun, shoot people on camera. Then okay. And you're the older generation, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But hey, everybody, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you think that his mind just doesn't work properly. He don't get no it ain't nothing mentally wrong with him or none of that. So yeah, he don't get none of them breaks. I'm sorry to tell you. But yeah, that is just a guy who makes bad decisions. But everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. I'm gonna go live again. So everybody who tapped into the live, shout out